When my alarm goes off in the mornings, I try and grab my book and do a little bit of reading first thing. A nice gentle start to the day. Believe it or not, I have been exploring ChatGPT yesterday, and I had a really good conversation with it about the authors that I like and the period that I enjoy reading from. It gave me some really good suggestions for books to try, especially with female authors from the 20s, 30s and 40s. It's an incredible... I don't know whether you guys have tried ChatGPT. And the really useful thing is that it leaves a transcript of your conversation. So nice early morning routine. I've got my eggs on. I've just done the washing up. It's 8:30 and that clock is going to be going. So please don't think that this is actually a hobbit house. It's not. It's just a very old clock. It's really nice this early morning time before work starts. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those are my working days. That's my working week. It's very hectic at work, but because I'm only doing the 3 days, it's manageable. And I like to sit down and have a proper breakfast or a cup of tea, look out at the garden. I'm sure everybody's got their own thing to do. I received a wonderful comment. Oh, ladies, when you leave a comment, could you put your actual name down so that I can speak back to you? Because at the moment, it's just a username. So anonymous and weird sounding. She basically said that she had gone to a reunion dinner with 3 of her old high school friends. And she wore a topper. And she said so few words, but I totally got what she was trying to say. That she felt good, she felt herself, she felt kind of viable, you know. It's very difficult to find the right words for these things because it's such a subtle thing. Oh my heavens, the cat. It's such a subtle thing. And sometimes when you're trying to describe something like that, it sounds like you're blowing it out and exaggerating what it represents and how it feels, etc. I don't think that's right. The more I look into hair and hair loss, right, the more I start to appreciate what hair represents for men and women. I don't know what it represents for men, but I certainly am starting to understand about what it represents for a woman. It's a little calling card to say that you're alive, that you're young, that your life is still vibrant, you're still in the swing of it, that you're happy, you're doing well, you're strong, you've got resilience about you. All of those things just from this. And of course, on the other hand, if you go out looking like this, it also says a lot. The other thing I wanted to say was, it seems that there are quite a few ladies on here. And guys, this is a discovery for me. I have no idea who watches, what your circumstances are, what your history is, why you came upon this channel. But obviously there's a lot of ladies who are concerned with their weight loss situation or their weight maintenance situation. Now, ladies, I don't want you to worry about your weight. It's absolutely manageable and doable to drop however many pounds you feel that you would like to. This is like a tug of war with this cat. You've got to stop, Penny. Sake. I just really needed to get a few things out of the way in life. I had Stephen's birthday. I had my son-in-law's birthday. I had both my daughter's birthday. Then I had the meeting of the ex-husband, which was a big deal for my daughter. She needed a lot of support with that. So I've had a whole load of stuff to take care of. And this is the emotional labor of womanhood. The emotional labor. This is the glue that keeps families together, that supports people's personal lives, be it daughters, husbands, anybody basically related to the family. It's women that have the emotional intelligence to keep families together and just make the whole thing, flow. So I've had a lot of that to deal with. But last night I was in bed and I was looking at the Slimming World website. I'm very interested in the way Slimming World, the system works, and also their philosophy. I love the fact that they say nothing is off limits. If you want to eat it, but you've got to understand that it's a balance of intake and output. And the output, of course, is what they call body magic, which we know as exercise. I think that's very doable. And what's even more interesting and important is that the internet and YouTube are full of channels that take you along on people's journeys. They give you recipes for free. They give you eating plans for free. And remember, if you think you're not on an eating plan, you are on an eating plan. Your plan is that you can have whatever you like, but that is definitely a plan. So what you're doing is that you're replacing one plan with another plan, but you're still going to be doing an eating plan. And I really like that. I can really do that. So over these next couple of days, I'm going to review a menu. What I need from my menu is ease. It needs to fall into my routines. Remember, 3 days a week I'm working and I don't want to be slaving over a hot stove. I'd like it to be reasonably priced, no crazy ingredients that are hard to find and expensive, and that I can swap around easily if I need to. But, so that's the week. But at the weekend, I like to put a little bit more effort in my cooking. I like to experiment a little bit more. That's always also going to be in the plan. I think it's manageable. I think it's totally doable. I have complete faith that it's going to work. I've seen other people's results. Most people that have spoken about the Slimming World plan say that it works. It really works, and I'm delighted to hear that it works. Yet again, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can just use the wheel. We don't have to invent the wheel. So I'm going to finish up my breakfast, get dressed, and get my working day underway. It's amazing how I can just get ready. I've got 2 Zoom calls this morning. They're meetings with several people. And it's really nice. Hello, Penny. It's really nice to just be able to pop this on. By the way, someone said, I've been trying to figure out whether you've been wearing Noriko Alva. Yeah, this is Noriko Alva. There are a few, I can feel it coming on, this desire to just not replace, but to add to my collection. Because, when you buy something and it's working really well for you, you think, oh, maybe I should try it in another color. Macadamia LR in this color, I've always thought would be very nice. This is a very dark brown down here. But its redeeming feature, as far as I'm concerned, is these frosted bits, which lift the darkness of the underhair quite nicely. But Noriko has got a new wig out. It's called Wynn. Noriko have got several new wigs out, but the one I've got my eye on is Wynn. But unfortunately, I don't think they actually sell it in the UK yet. So I'm waiting for some online stores to get it, but I definitely want it. I'm going to insert a picture of Wynn here. And there's a channel, what's the name of the channel? Can't remember. I was watching a review of Wynn and I fell in love. It's another bob, but it's got the fullness around here and it comes so sleek, and it's a little bit shorter, I believe, than Alva. I'm crazy about bobs. I love bobs. They're so versatile. You can wear a bob out to dinner. You can pin a bob up. And this one, I have actually pinned it up before when I was sort of talking about her in another video. And the colours are just delightful because you're left with the highlights, you know. And all the darker colour is kind of out of the way. It's so charming, so eye-catching. The amount of times I walked into a place and I've noticed people look, women, look to see, oh wow, look at the lovely highlights in that hair. And I don't blame them. If I was in their shoes, I would also look at the lovely highlights. So I'm trying to get my hands on Wynn. So if you're not a hair wearer, if you're still at the exploration stage, I just want to say, even for the work from home crew, we do a lot of Teams calls, we do a lot of video meetings, and having something that you can just put on like this. I mean, obviously, I'm not leaving the house until later on this afternoon, so I've just put this on, you know, kind of to just keep myself warm, because I'm not going to be heating the entire house. I'm just kind of wearing this to keep myself warm. But I'm video ready. I've put a bit of makeup on, not too much. It's just enough for my needs. And I feel pretty good. So when I woke up this morning, before I started reading my book, I don't know what had happened to me in the nighttime, but I woke up with a sense of inspiration in my heart. And the notion that problems, whatever the problem might be, may appear small or big, whatever they are what they are. They are what they are. The best way I've found to deal with problems, be it hair loss or anything else, is to become so much bigger than the problem. And suddenly the problem appears reduced in size and manageable. And because you're so much bigger than the problem, you've actually expanded yourself. You've got so many more personal resources, emotional strength, to develop the ability to deal with that problem so that it's no longer a problem anymore. I mean, if you take my hair loss, I had become so diminished in the throes of my hair loss. It was just falling out and falling out over years and years. It would grow back and then it would fall out. It was an endless cycle of doom. It was disappointment, and hopelessness was creeping in. But also, as the hair loss itself was becoming more and more pronounced, I realized that I got into a stage where it now was undeniable that I was losing my hair. But I feel that with embracing wigs and toppers and expanding myself to enjoy them and play with my look and experiment with makeup and color and clothing, I was able to grow so much bigger than the problem of my hair loss. And I love that that philosophy, because that philosophy, that ability can be applied to practically any problem, no matter how big in life. And I guess going back to what I was saying before about that lovely lady going for her reunion supper with 3 old high school friends. Now, of course, she suffered with hair loss, I assume. But she had grown to so much bigger than her hair loss. So when she was in her topper, turning out to the dinner, she was no longer subject to the worry of her hair loss. It was no longer an issue. She was able to put her best foot forward and offer up the best of herself that was so much more interesting than her hair loss. It was the best of herself. Even if later on in the evening, one decides that you want to disclose your hair loss and hair wearing, you've already presented yourself as somebody who has overcome the problem of hair loss. And it is a huge problem to overcome. Well, now I'm ready for my day. And if I don't see you later this evening, I will see you tomorrow.